All right. Good evening, everybody. You've stepped into the kingdom of truth, raw, unfiltered, and unapologetically black. Welcome to the Unknown Empress podcast. Welcome to the Unknown Empress podcast, and I am, of course, the Unknown Empress here to serve you on this evening with episode 3 of the parenting series. And so, as you know, we've been talking about parenting series. We've been talking about parents. We've been talking about the woes. We've been being a village to one another. We've been discussing some of the good, the bad, talking about things that we don't always talk about at the dinner table, but maybe we should. And we've been connected with one another. And so tonight is just a continuation of those things. And tonight's episode is going to be peer pressure and hip hop culture. Um, so when I came up with the episode or the topic, I was thinking how much music impacts and plays a part of parenting and plays a part of our social life and how we show up in different aspects, especially on social media or in person, or how we show up. I love music. Growing up, I know many of you in the black community, we listen to music as we clean. Saturday mornings, it's gonna be the the music playing, blasting throughout the house as you get up and clean and declutter and get your mind right. We listen to music to settle down. I love to listen to a little bit of jazz as I settle down and wind down, especially with a long day of work. Take a glass of wine, some jazz music. Um, Black people, our community, we listen to gospel music when we're feeling down. That praise and worship part of of church is one of the most important parts. Is where we're gonna set the mood, set the tone, the atmosphere. So music has a big part of my life, and as I know, probably many of your lives as well. And so, how does music play and a part of some of those traumas, some of those experiences, and some of those decisions that we made in our past, and how some of those decisions we plan to make in our future. So I'm gonna just go ahead and forewarn you guys. Mom is tired. And this is a part of parenting. This is a part of the parenting series talking about where we really are and being so for real with ourselves. And this is one thing that the Unknown Empress stands for. It stands for being true and honest with myself and giving myself grace, but allow myself a little bit of freedom where I need it and being honest about where I stand. So but because I am a woman of my word, like if anybody knows me, they know that I'm going to be a woman. If I said I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And so I've been promising that Unknown Empress is back like never before, and that we was gonna do this 6 part parenting series. And so this is part 3. We're halfway through it, and I also want you guys to like, comment, and share this video. And also, I want you to feedback, talk with me. That helps me get through the episode. That helps me value your options, your opinions, value your time for staying with me tonight. Y'all probably hang later than I do, but this is my bedtime. So if you're tuning in, we're talking about the parenting series, episode 3, peer pressure and hip hop culture. So of course we're gonna be no scripts, no sugars, just real stories, real life stories, so that we can tap into the struggle of raising kids and healing ourselves through the process. So let's rein in on the chaos and rise in our truth. Period. So we're gonna start off the episode with a little bit of. Do I want to start with it? We're gonna start the series talking about how we're gonna guide our teens through the influences that they may feel through music. So, as we already said, that music is a big part of our culture. Music is a big part of who we are, and music is a big part of what we do and the decisions we make. So, um, I'm not big on TikToks and all of that, but I know there are a lot of TikTok dances. There are a lot of trending dance videos and music videos and things that our teens are listening to that can shape how they feel. I watched a reel that it went viral where a mom was playing some Lil Kim back in the day, and she was like, this is the kind of music that we listen to. And the daughter's like, oh my god, I can't believe y'all listen to that, mom. But it was very much us listening to music that was above our generation, music that was well advanced. And I think the same thing is happening now. So we just got to give our kids a little bit of grace and meet them where they are in the music industry and what's going on. I know a lot of people have been following the whole R. Kelly thing and what happened in music, but we just have to make sure that we meet our kids where our. It's not that the music itself is bad. I think sometimes certain aspects of music is pulled out, and it might seem like it may be leading our children down a certain road, but I think we have to be conscious of where we were when we listened to music and the music we listened to and how and the decisions it made on our lives, as well as that being portrayed through our kids. And so we just got to meet them where they are, and just like our parents did. I mean, my parents played all kinds of music in the home, and it didn't it didn't influence me in a way because my parents were there to explain as well, to walk me through the music. And I think that's what we have to do with our kids. The decision is theirs, the choices are theirs, and they have to make their own choices and decisions. But we just got to make sure that we are with them through the music process, so that we are encouraging them and that we are motivating them and that we are supporting them through the music. So let's talk about peer pressure. um, we talked a little bit about peer pressure last week. We talked about peer pressures our children face, but let's talk about peer pressures when it comes to the music industry. How music can add pressures to our children and to their lives. So, for an example, I'm just giving this as an example. Young girls listening to music and the trends and the dances and stuff, and how that might interfere with where they stand in their lives and what they got going on. But we want to make sure that we support them through that. We want to make sure that we're with them so that they can make their own decisions, and that they can feel that their parents support them through the music. So, um, let's talk about why saying no isn't enough. You good? Why saying no isn't enough? We want to make sure that we. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay. Saying no isn't just enough, because if you're listening to music and you feeling the vibe, and you listening to the music and you're going in a certain way, in a certain light, we want to make sure that our kids know that whatever they're feeling, whatever the music is making them feeling, that they still have a responsibility to decide what they want to do and how they want to do it. We want to support them through that process. We want to make sure that they feel that. And I'm not talking about just sex. I'm talking about all things. I'm talking about, you know, them in going through school, going to dances and going to football games, and just supporting them in all things, and just being real about how music can make you feel good about certain things and make you start feeling the music, you're feeling the vibe, you're having a good time, but it's still a conscious decision that needs to be made, right? We still got to know that, okay, just because the music is here and I'm feeling this vibe and feeling this way or whatever, whatnot, there's still a conscious decision to be made about the moment that I'm in. Um, so let's talk a little bit about who our children are looking up to. We have a lot of house parties at our house, and the house parties are just us. is our family, and we turn on the music and we let our hair down, especially on Fridays. We turn on the music, we let our hair down, and we just party and have a good time in our home. I think this is one part of who we are in our home as parents, but it also lets our kids see that we're human too. We like music. We want to have a good time as well. Um, so that when they're in those different circumstances and in different situations, having parties, going to parties, football games, or wherever they at, unattended, that even though they feel the music, they still have that conscious responsibility, like a decision needs to be made, and that they feel that, this is a new. This is the first time me listen to this song. This is the first time me turning up. This is the first time me having a good time, letting my hair down. I love, 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 love me some Juvenile. Okay, listen, let me tell you, Juvenile and me, we go way back, and that's a part of my story, and I don't allow that to place me in a box, or place me in a situation where it's like, oh, my mom doesn't dance. My mom doesn't listen to music. My mom can't have a good time. Especially if you have daughters, you sons, not so much, but you still have to watch the music, because certain music can provoke certain situations. Certain lyrics can pull certain things out of our children that, you know, they're feeling it or thinking it, or it's influencing them in a way. The music may be influencing them in a way where they feel that, okay, I need to show up in a different light because the music is making me feel this way, or I'm feeling a vibe, I'm catching a vibe. And we don't want those, and that's the type of peer pressure. We don't want that to initiate or overrule, overpower who our children feel like they are, right? We want them to still be themselves. Allow the music to be a part of them. Allow the music to, you know, enhance the moment, but not take them completely away. And now there's someone else doing something else in a different place, right? We want it to happen naturally, and we want them to feel like they have control, like the music just isn't gonna take them away, or certain lyrics aren't gonna just make them feel like, oh, okay, well, the music is saying this, and I gotta show up in this light. Let me do this certain thing or act this certain way. We want them to be authentic in who they are. Um, and so that's really important, that they show up as themselves, that they show up musically, and that they are feeling supported. We want our children to know that, yeah, we are your parents, but I was a child once. I was 16, or however old they are. I was that age once, but growing up, part of parenting is to show yourself, to your child, like, hey, I'm a human being. I'm tired. I'm whatever the case may be, just letting them know, like, I'm showing up as my true self. I think that's really important. I think it's really important to who we are. And then, of course, you know, the overall thing is just to have control. We want our children to have control. We want hip hop culture, or the music industry, to take control of our children. That our children they have the control in the situation, of whatever situation, especially parties. Um, I'm gonna talk a little bit about music and setting the tone, setting the mood sexually, because let's be real, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Their first time is gonna happen if it hasn't already happened, and I'm pretty sure music is gonna be a part of that. Um, and you want to make sure, one, that you can't control the situation when it happens and how it happens, but we let our children know that they have the power and they have the control. They have control of how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. That even if the tone is set, the music is right, and the atmosphere is right, and all of that is set in stone, it's still a choice to be made, regardless what the music is saying, regardless of how they may feel. It's still a choice to be made. And they need to be prepared. They need to be prepared for those choices. They need to be prepared for those decisions. And it's all up to them. It's all up to them. um So we talked about that. A quote I have tonight is men have a tendency to brainwash people and gaslight them. I don't really feel like men have that tendency. I feel like this is a thing that society can do. And if you're in a situation where um somebody has control, this is why these conversations are important. This is why it's important for us to be there for our children, to support our children, and to parent in real time. um be honest with them about your favorite music, the type of music you had, your first time, how much music played a role in that. Their honesty and their integrity, and how important it is for them to show up as their true selves and not to be pressured by music friends or social media. Um, and being an honest parent, that when you're tired, when you're weak, when you're vulnerable, whatever that may be, that you show up in that way and you let your children know that you're human. Offer a little bit of grace and just go from there, because you never know what's going to happen down the road. And all you want to do, when other influences are greater than yours, when other words are stronger than your words, when friends and relationships come into play, and it's not just what my mom and dad says, will our children still remember what we say and how we feel in the way that we communicated with them? That's the most important thing. So I have a short message for y'all tonight, but listen, go back and watch this, play the video, listen to it, see what I can add. Mention in the comments something I might have missed out. I'm pulling it out, y'all. I'm tired. I'm tired. Big mama tired. I'm sorry it was a short video tonight, but I think y'all got the message. I love y'all. Good night.